went from 0 to 100K in just 4 months with organic dropshipping, and here's exactly how I got there. And stay to the end because I'll reveal the product that made me over 100K. For some context, I graduated high school in 2023 and then went to college to wrestle. During that time there, I was just like poor as fuck, just like every other college student. This pushed me to decide to do paid ads. I've kind of already done paid ads in the past, and I failed like every single time. So I decided I want to try to do things again because I was like convinced I could make it work. So I literally binge watched every single YouTube video you can find about dropshipping. So I pretty much got to work. I was skipping classes, spending my break time and hours making a website, ripping people's content off of TikTok Marketplace or whatever it's called. Finally, I made my website and launched my very first campaign that I thought would just make me a millionaire right off bat. Like, I'm telling you, I was deep in thought like, okay, this is gonna be the very first product to work out. I'm gonna blow up, drop out of school. No, I checked my profit one day because I wasn't tracking anything. There wasn't a Google sheet or an Excel sheet of me tracking my profits like I do now. And this is really just when reality set in. I did not make it out the trenches.
You're wrong!
Because I was spending way more money than I even was making. So I was cooked. I was just grinding, trying to make this thing work for months on end. At least that's like what I should have done. But instead, I impulsively sold my car. Yeah, I don't know. I got shiny object syndrome and was convinced I could make 6 figures doing SMMA. And then I ended up spending all that money I made from selling the car on an SMMA mentorship. And guess what? I made no money. Absolutely $0.
Bruh.
So not only was I like cooked the first time from already messing up the ads, but I was double cooked because I just was being stupid. I got back to the drawing board and locked the fuck in. I'm kidding. I was actually like genuinely heartbroken by like all the things that happened. Like genuinely fell into like a really deep depression. So I stopped going to practice. I stopped going to class. I just like stopped my entire life all at once, and I grieved this person. I grieved the person I wanted to be because I thought it was too out of reach. In the end, I didn't really feel like I belonged in college. No one shared my kind of like mindset that I have regarding e-commerce or anything business related, and that whole thing was just kind of frustrating. So following the weeks of the depressive episode that I had, I finally got the courage to pick up the phone and tell my family I was dropping out. Boy, this was like the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. I think like one of them. It ended up working out, and in just a few weeks I was out of school. Like I was gone for real. So while I was already in the process of looking for a job, my cousin actually hit me up and had messaged me about a job fair, and then he actually let me know that he had an apartment that I could sublease if I ended up moving out there, which pretty much set me up, and I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity. I took an hour bus ride to the job fair, I got the job, and then I moved to Seattle shortly after. The plan was to reinvest every single penny I got from whatever side hustle, my jobs, or anything right back into paid ads, so that way I can just start doing dropshipping that way. While I was figuring out what my next steps were, I started watching a ton of self-help videos. Like I'm talking like Hamza, David Goggins, and like any other random person that's like screaming at you kind of videos. The one thing that always stuck out to me was how consistent they were. Every one of those people that I watched got straight to the work, like no bullshit involved. I remember watching this Hamza video, and he said that he wakes up every morning at like 4 a.m. and gets straight to work without brushing his teeth and doing pretty much anything, which I thought was like a little dramatic. It was just straight gas early in the morning. I ended up adopting some of these things in my own routine, like cold showers, meditating, waking up before the sun even came out. I know like a lot of the people say they do these things, but it genuinely helped me form this discipline. I wanted to live up to the person I actually wanted to become, the kind of person I thought a few months ago was impossible to be. And during my season of reading books like Atomic Habits and applying these millionaire habits into my life, I stumbled upon something called organic dropshipping. Now, essentially, if you don't know, organic dropshipping is basically when you source products for cheap on places like AliExpress, make a website for that thing you're marketing and mark it up at like 2.5 times. So an example of this would be if I found a water bottle on AliExpress for $1, I'm marketing it up $2.50 on my website. Then you film the products yourself, go viral, and as you get sales, you just keep the difference. I've been so many videos on organic for literally like an entire day. The only problem was at the time when I looked up organic dropshipping, like word for word, only a few people popped up like BSM Fredo and a few other guys that I can't really remember. So it took a bit of a deep dive to fully understand the whole concept of organic. And I also paired it up with videos that were regarding paid ads, just because they were like the same business model, just only one thing's really changing. After brain rotting for hours, I finally like got to the part where you take action and get to work. Most of those videos give me a very basic understanding of what organic was. And step one was just creating a burner account and finding a winning product. Number one was always find a problem-solving product. Two was something that has a wow factor. And three was pretty much like, is there any competitors? Is it saturated? That kind of thing. Again, the very basic criteria for finding products. So pretty much, again, doom scrolled on my burner account until I found a handful of products that I thought fit my criteria. I thoughtfully sorted through the list I had, answered some very basic questions that are specific to the product. So like, does this have a wow factor? Is it easy to film? Do people actually want this? Etc. Again, all very basic things. And I ended up ordering the product I picked based on that shitty product criteria. As soon as I had the product in my hands, I opened out the box and everything, and I was already looking at videos and just trying to do whatever. Listen to me very closely. You do not need to reinvent the wheel when it comes to concepts, but do not rip people's content one-to-one. Do copy the concept and add your own twist to it. I'll show you guys my example of how I did this in just a bit, but bear with me. I ended up running the hot water stitch, and after running this for about 2 weeks, I got super impatient. I wasn't seeing sales. I didn't see many people going on my store as a whole. So me and my friend came up with this random video concept that ended up being super controversial. Later on, that video ended up getting, I think, around 14 million views, but nobody cares about the views. How much sales did 14 million views actually get me? Just starting out as a beginner, I thought views were equal to money, like how much money you would make. I was very mistaken, and please do not think that the amount of views you get does not equal to the amount of money you will make. But anyway, yeah, my video hit 14 million views, and I thought I was just gonna be big balling when I checked my dashboard, but when I checked it, I think within like the next couple days, I only made like 1K. And by the end of April, I made just under 5K with this product. Now, after that product stopped getting sales, I started moving on to the next product, and I felt way more confident in my ability to film and whatever and edit. My video hit like 10 million views, and I finally felt like I made it. And I was just like literally printing off this one video for about like 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks straight, it was back to back like 1K, 2K days. And then on the lower end, it was like in between $400 to $800 a day. On the low end. And again, this is like all in my beginning stages of dropshipping. This was only my second product, so having $400 to $800 a day was like a really big deal. And then like having 1 to 2K days and 3K days was just fucking like outrageous. There's a very key difference as to why my first video that got 14 million views on TikTok only got $500 to 1K, and why this one made me my first 10K. It all comes down to the content in the video. The first product, more people were focused on the controversy rather than the actual product itself. The video was clearly more product focused with no controversy at all. Everybody wanted to know where to get the product. So I successfully got myself out the trenches simply by just being consistent, trying different concepts, believing I can make money regardless of anybody's opinions of me or other people's expectations of what they wanted me to do. This product made me 11K in February, 20K in June, and then I got another mentor, shout out Gabe, that helped me get to 40K in July. And that one was just with one Instagram post that had only hit 1 million views at the time. And for you guys that do not know, Instagram is like where you'll see so much more money with videos that hit like 500K, 1 million, and etc. But that's a topic for another video. But with that money, I was able to move to a nicer apartment, buy a newer car, upgrade all my equipment. I got new lighting, 2 new phones, a desk, I bought a MacBook, and like so much more shit I just kind of splurged on. So I'm pretty sure you're thinking like right now, like, what was even a product? What was even the product? If you are in the dropshipping space, you have definitely seen this product before. This brand was called Aquavinyl. And I can like put it on the screen right now and show you the videos of what I meant. And now that you've learned about my story and how I made over 100K my first year dropshipping, you probably want to know the exact steps I took to get started. So if you're a beginner dropshipper, you'll want to check out this video. I'll teach you how to get started doing organic and make 6 figures or more your first year too. If you have any comments or any just questions about anything, go ahead and leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Bye.